I never know it warned you. Did you?
No.
Okay. Okay. So starting with feet together, chin to the chest, roll down and go into this like low squat. Come up and out of it, and then reverse lunge. Hands go into this like prayer grasp, and then reach up and over the head. Eyes go up. You stuck down in there again?
Yeah.
And then go through that again. Chin to the chest. So you're going chin to the chest, roll down, bend the knees, come up and out of it, and then take the other leg back. So you're doing 10 of these, 5 on each side. Chin to the chest, roll down slow, reach for the ground, and then bend the knees. Bring the legs up and roll back up.
Is it okay to go on my toes if I can?
Yes. Yeah, a lot of times your Achilles just doesn't have the ability to stretch out enough for you to get down there. Man, this like rug trips me out. Look down at it. We have this like checkered rug thing that makes me feel like very dizzy. All right, 10 of these, 5 on each side. So we'll end up going through 3 rounds of these. Each time it'll be a different lean for the reverse lunge. You did? I mean, that's 10. Yeah. It was like 8. It'd be interesting to rewatch these and like how often do we not do the number we say we're supposed to do? They don't actually count. All right, 10-ish of those. Okay, from there, go super wide stance for the feet. Hands behind the back. Just drop the chest over one leg and come all the way back up. Go through 10 of those. So it should just feel like it's a big stretch through the inside of the leg. And the strength workout that I gave Tim yesterday was the one that we were supposed to do this morning. We were saved by dog poop, a dog poop disaster. We walked into the gym in the dark and I stepped in dog poop and then proceeded to walk all over where we were going to work out. Same thing on the other side, 10. Drop the chest. Make sure feet are parallel so the toes are pointed forward. This should feel good. I mean, the quad is doing all the pushing. The hip is doing all that descending back down. All right. And then from there, go back into that little squat. Sink down as low as you feel like you can, holding here. And you're doing one arm forward, one arm back, and then switch. So do 10 each way, trying to hit the highest lift as you can on each end. So really try to get like 1 inch higher on each reach. And you should feel like the legs are starting to get tired a little bit. Eyes can be down on the ground, so the neck is just neutral. Palms are facing each other. Oops, sorry. So you're leaning with the thumb forward, leaning with the pinky back. 10 of each of those. And then come up and out of that, and we'll go through that again 2 more times. So feet together, chin to the chest, roll down slowly, hands go down to the ground. Bring the hips down with you. Bring the hips up. Roll back up and out of it. This time for the reverse lunge, you're going to lunge and lean. So always lean towards whatever leg is out in front. My right leg is out in front. I'm leaning right. Feet together, chin to the chest, roll down, bend the knees, straighten the legs, and keep alternating which leg you're leaving out in front. Go through 10 of those, 5 on each side. Think about that frontal plane lean as this true side-to-side lean. So there's no forward collapse, no rotation. Chin to the chest, roll down, bend the knees, hips up. Think about keeping the head between the arms, so like biceps to the ears. You can use that free hand to help pull that top arm over, so you should feel this huge stretch through the side. 10.
Keep messing up the sequence.
Squat, then lunge, lean. Wait, how did you mess that up? What else is involved?
Well, I sometimes don't stand all the way back up.
Okay.
On the squat.
All right, so after those 10, go super wide stance for the feet, hands behind the back. This time you're gonna go down to the left, shift the weight over to the right, and then reverse those movements. Go back to the left and back up. So I'm always going down and up from the left side. I just shift over to the right and back in between each. So ideally that first move is slow, then you're going quick, quick, slow. Slow descent, quick, quick shift and weight, slow on the lift back up. So make sure each time you're coming all the way back up to vertical so the spine is straight up and down. I should have worn black with a black background. You see me? All right, 10 of those on that one side. So you got a lot of these. Hands behind the back. Slow descent down, flat back. Neck is an extension of the spine. So you're not cranking the neck back or tucking the chin under. And then it's quick, quick, slow. Slow on the down, quick on the over, slow on the way back up. And same thing to the other side. Have you switched sides yet?
I have not. Maybe I'll call that too.
It should feel like the legs are kind of working together. One's pushing, one's pulling. We just went to a bike store that had a bar attached to it called push, pull, right?
Yeah.
How are you doing your bike? Push, pull, push. They know bikes for sale, so they gotta start selling beer. Do they have any bikes for sale?
They do not.
Bike store. Hey! Right on time. All right, super wide stance for the feet. Drop the chest over one side, slow. Quick to the other side, quick back, and then slow on the return back to neutral. So 10 on one side, 10 on the other. When you're done there, we'll go back through that squat hold. These should feel good. Ish. All right, when you're done with those 10 on each side, go back down into that low squat. So feet are together, sink down as low as you can. And now from the front, you're doing pinkies down to the ankles. Try to bring the arms all the way up and over the head so you can get the thumbs to meet. And then pinkies back down to the ankle. Go through 10 of those. Holding that low squat, so you're just trying to get the shoulders to work. Legs should get warm by the end of this. So this is frontal plane of motion for the shoulders. Do I start to feel tired at the end of this?
Yeah.
It's not just me. All right, 10 of those guys, and then we'll go through that one more time. So starting with feet together, chin to the chest, roll down slowly. Hands go down to the ground, then bend the knees, straighten the legs, roll back up and out of it. Go into a reverse lunge, and you're always twisting towards whatever leg is out in front. Back to neutral, chin to the chest, roll down, reach for the toes. Knees bend, hips drop, hips go up. And now you're gonna send the other leg back and twist towards that fresh leg now. 10 of those, 5 each side. Vertical spine, big rotation, twist, feet together, chin always goes to the chest. Big rotation. Hips high. This should feel good. Is this one easier to remember how to do?
Yeah. As long as I keep track with my left and right.
Oh, like which one you just did?
Yeah.
It should all just be this like smooth one movement to the next kind of thing.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. That's it? Maybe one more to grow on. All right. All right, so once you're done with those guys, super wide stance for the feet again, hands behind the back. This time you're just doing big circles. So you'll do 10 one way, 10 the other. Start by going down the left knee first, shift over to the right knee, come all the way back up to neutral. So just go through these 10 circles. And see if you can not pause at all. So as soon as you get to that high point, Spine's vertical, you go right back over to the left side. 10 of these guys. Same thing on the other side. 10. So this is the third round. First one, we just dropped the chest over the knee. Second one, we started with the shift over to the side. And then third and last one are these big circles. 10. All right, then last time for the squat, feet together. Sink down into a squat. And imagine you're gonna go arms back and then reach the arms forward, palms up. Reach the arms back. Like you're trying to give like the ceiling a high five this way. And then you're trying to give the ceiling a high five this way. 10 each way. We're just trying to put rotation in that shoulder now. Hold that low squat. That push back is similar to like that swim stroke. Palms up at the forward reach, palms up at the reverse reach. Nice job. All right. Okay, done with that round. So now on to balance. It might be worth tilting this sucker down a little bit. Okay, so balancing on the left leg. We've done this before, but we're gonna get fancier as we go. Balance on the left leg. Right hand reaches forward, left hand reaches up to the ceiling. Come back to neutral, right arm reaches back, knee comes up. So balance on the left foot. Right hand reaches forward as far as you can. Come up to neutral, almost like the hand is pulling that knee up, and then continue reaching with that right arm. Ooh. 10 of these guys. Rotation, reach. Keep the eyes forward for now. We're eventually gonna go eyes up, and then we're gonna do eyes around. Forward reach. This feels so hard. Eyes stay forward for now. So the eyes forward variation means that you get more stretch through that neck, through the chest, and the arm around. Reach, reach. Nice job. All right, 10 of those. Same thing on that other leg whenever you're ready. Switch sides. Did I just do 9? Oh man, always cheating. Always shooting under. All right, right foot is your balancer, left hand is your reacher. It's weird when you get off balance, I swear I do too. It's like there's a ghost comes and just pushes us.
One more.
All right, back to balance, but now go back to your left leg. So we're gonna do forward lift, knee tuck, extend, drop the leg. Forward lift, knee tuck, extend, drop the leg. Go through 10 of those. You don't have to pause in between each one, but try to not make them one big movement. Does that make sense? So they're each their own distinct movement. 10 on one side. Check that the shoulders are staying even, hips are staying even. So think about that as like your rectangle. All of this is staying even. You're not leaning over to the side, tilting a shoulder, rotating one forward. Same thing on the other leg. Forward raise with the leg, bend the knee, extend the leg, drop it back down.
Oh, I totally messed that up.
Up, tuck, extend, drop. Lift, tuck, extend, drop. All right, from there, this is like a whole balance series, sorry. Okay, balancing on, let's go left foot. Find something that you can just hold on to, like a wall or a friend, whatever you need. Okay, so you're balancing on the leg that's furthest from what you're holding on to. Sink down onto that leg, not as low as you can possibly go, but like where the joints are all bending now. The ankle's getting flexion, the knee's bending. And think about tucking the tailbone under and shifting the weight to the toe. It should look funny, like you're like trying to duck away from something that's shooting behind you. And then shift the weight to the heel, kick the tailbone out, try to overemphasize that like booty kick out. And do that 9 more times. Tuck the tailbone under, hips go forward, rock back to the heel, glute kicks back. Tuck the tailbone under, onto the toe, onto the heel, kick the glutes out. So you're just taking turns between the front of the leg firing and the back of the leg firing. So it should feel like if you have the knee bent enough and the weight enough on the toe and the tailbone tucked under enough, you should feel like the head of the quad just wants to start like shaking because it's kind of the only thing that's really holding you there. And then when you shift the weight to the heel and kick the tailbone out, you should just feel that in the glute because that's part of your pulley system back here. All of this is firing to like pull you back. If it helps, think like drive the chest forward. I think guys have a harder time thinking about sticking their booty out, but if you think about sticking the chest forward, something's got to go back to make up for that. It should feel tiring on that leg. Like when you're done, you should be like, it's a bit of a dead leg. All right, same thing on the other side whenever you're ready. So you're balancing on the leg furthest from whatever you're holding on to. Sink down into that half squat, sorry. Shift the weight onto the toe, tuck the tailbone under, shift the weight to the heel, kick the tailbone out. Shift the weight onto the toe, tuck the tailbone under. And you don't have to go at my pace. Go whatever feels good for you. Don't rush through it, but also don't feel like you need to like get stuck on either end of that. If you put your free hand on that hip, you can feel a little bit more of what's happening. So if you dig your thumb into that glute, notice when you kick the tailbone out, that thing gets really firm. When you tuck the tailbone under, it almost just completely checks out. It should just feel like squishy. Evidence of what's happening. Doesn't really do anything to have your hand there other than just make you more aware of what's going on under the skin. 10 of those, guys. We haven't done these yet, have we? Ever? No. So those are good because it overemphasizes how you can make your quads fire more than your hamstrings. So this all started with when I was training Terra Nova and trying to figure out ways to make his hamstrings work at a time where he was quad dominant and complaining that his quads were just burning out on hill climbs. So we started working on how we can shift weight into his heels and have him kick the tailbone out when his quads are tiring. And he started doing that and claims he didn't have to walk Western States 1 year. I think he finished like 11th place. Okay, anyhow, enough about that. That's where that workout came from. Okay, balance on the left foot again. This time when you reach forward, you're gonna tuck the right leg back behind you. Okay, that's one. And then this reach is the same, but now you're gonna look up. All right, so balancing on the left foot, right arm reaches forward, and you have this big speed skater tuck for that leg. Eyes go forward for that reach, and then go up as you kind of like unravel the hand and extend. This should feel harder. 10 of those, guys. The good news is you're not watching us anymore because you're watching the ceiling. So maybe we're doing it perfectly. You'll just never know. So now the hip has to do more work, right? The hip abductor. It's helping correct that hip back to neutral after you've just sent that right hip into that lower dip. The eyes up balance should feel harder. It just takes away, we're not used to using a sight reference that's straight above us. So we do these vision drills to take away your need to always see where you are. It's supposed to help heighten the other senses. Same thing on the other leg if you haven't already traded. So if you're balancing on the right foot now, it's your left arm reaching forward. Left arm reaches around and eyes go up. Tuck the leg, forward reach, back to neutral, eyes go up, reach around. Ten of these guys. One side might feel easier than the other. That's very normal. We're very uneven beings, asymmetrical beings. And the funny thing is the leg that has more muscle isn't necessarily what you would call your stronger leg. Often if you're right-handed, you have more dexterity in your right hand, but you actually have more muscle in your left hand because you'll do things like carry groceries in the left hand so that you can use your right hand for keys. Anyhow, more information that you don't want to know, don't need to know. It's interesting. I feel very chatty.
Go back.
All right, so back to these lifts. So balancing on the left foot, right leg's gonna come up, toes are pointed forward. I'm gonna bend the knee, straighten out the leg, bring the leg back down. So close up, lift, bend the knee, extend, drop down. Lift, bend the knee, extend. Check that that toe is not rotating out and you're driving the knee up to the side. Instead, that knee comes straight forward. Black pants are not a good idea. I don't feel like anybody can see me. I'm just like a big black blur. All right, 10 of those. So that's all hip abductor work, all hip flexor while the abductor holds that hip up in that hinge. Same thing here. Don't feel like you need to go slow or fast. Just kind of connect the movements without cheating one movement over the other. Same thing on the other side. One leg goes up to the side, bend the knee, check that shoulders are even. So that'll be your first indication if you're leaning. They said people do like mummy arms because they wouldn't know when they were tilting. But if you have mummy arms and you're like, oh, you have this visual. All right, 10 of those guys. Jason has mummy arms. It helps sometimes. You feel crazy. Now, what if you didn't mount to the side? Would you notice just as much? Maybe. Okay, last time for these. So balance on the leg that's furthest from whatever you're holding on to. Squat down, tuck the tailbone under, go forward, and come back up. So we're only doing the front part of that. Squat down, onto the toe, tuck the tailbone under, return, stand up. So it's 4 movements. 1, squat. 2, kick the tailbone forward and roll into the toe. 3, reverse, 4, reverse. 2 to get to that furthest point. 2 to get back. Go through 10 of those. These are good. These are hard. They're harder than they look, I think. I think everything we do is harder than it looks. There's a climb in Enchanted Rock called Harder Than It Looks.
Maybe.
There's a harder than it looks and easier than it looks rock climb on the back of Enchanted Rock. That's right. All right, same thing on the other side. Whenever you're ready, squat down, kick the hips forward, roll into the toe, plant the foot, press back up through the heel. Sink down, roll under the toe, drop the heel, straighten. Ten of these guys. Why is it that guys have a harder, generally speaking, guys have a harder time manipulating their pelvis?
I don't know.
I feel like I should know the answer to that. All right, so this time, balance on the left leg. We're gonna go simple again and send that leg straight back. Promise this is the last thing we're doing. You're gonna do forward reach, but when you come up, you're gonna go eyes go with the fingertips. So forward reach, up to neutral, eyes go around with the fingertips. Last thing you're doing, 10 on one side, 10 on the other, and then you're done. Forward reach, take the eyes with the fingertips. It would be better for you to just keep kind of tapping that free leg down to give you balance, rather than always have people that try to like save it and jump on one foot. Don't do that. Just put your right foot down. It's a different background than we had last week, right? Yeah. We still have gear hanging on the walls, but. All right. Same thing on the other side whenever you're ready. Easy change. You'll just switch onto the right foot. Left hand will be your balancer. Same idea, 10 of these guys whenever you're ready. Those first couple should feel a little harder just as you have to get used to a different kind of a way to lean. Mirror image of what you're just doing on the other side. Ooh. Ooh. All right, that should be 10-ish. That's it. Easy enough.
Thanks, everyone.
Did we record it? Oh yeah, it told us we were recording it earlier. Good to see you guys.
Bye.
Have a good Memorial Day weekend. We'll see you the Tuesday afterwards, right?
Yeah.
It'll be a long weekend. Have fun. Be good.